Hey everyone, welcome back to part 2 of the full stack car rental application in React Native. So in part 1, we implemented a lot of backend part. Okay, that was working fine. We also implemented the login, register functionality. So in this video, we'll be implementing the remaining parts, that is searching available cars, booking a car, your car details, your confirm, and all the other related details. We're going to complete it in part 2. So let's get started. So I hope you remember where we had stopped. Okay, so now once when we press on the search available car option, so we need to initialize your handle search method. So let's go and then do that. So I'm going to say const handle search is going to be equals to use callback hook. So this in turn is going to take in your sub location. I'm going to first of all set the sub location to be of the sub and import your use callback. Okay, so this expects us the next part, that's your dependency array. It's going to be empty. Next I'm going to say set show sub model to be of false, and I'm going to say set sub search to be of a empty string. That's it. So now where we have that option, that is search available cars, we're going to give the on press. Yeah, this is the one. So for this particular touchable opacity on press, it's just going to be handle search over here. Okay, so the token is expired. Let me just log in again. Sign in. So choose a city and a pickup point. Yeah, so it is working fine, no worries. We are able to choose that. Okay, my bad, I think I wrote it for the wrong function. Okay, so this is going to be actually handle select sub location, which is already written, so my bad. Okay, so this is going to be the function handle search. So router dot push to the main and then cars. Let's first of all access that. So within the main, we're going to have a new function that is going to be your cars.tsx. Okay, RNFES. Save the file. As you can see, that's looking good. So first of all, set the times and then we're gonna just push to the next screen. So choose a city and your pickup point and search available cars, and boom, just like that we're coming into the available car screen. So let's start designing this properly. Fine. So here initially on the top, I'm gonna get in the required things, that is the fuel colors, your fuel labels, as well as the filter type. You can take a look at it. Okay, so instead of this, I'm going to say export default function cars. Okay, here I'm going to initialize all of my hooks as well as the states that is required. So const draft comma set draft is going to be coming from your use booking store. It's already defined. Okay, not set draft, my bad. It's going to be set car, by the way. Okay, so here I'm going to access for the car state. Const cars comma set cars is going to be equals to use state of car type imported from types. It's already defined. Alright, so next I'm going to say const filtered comma set filtered is going to be equals to use state again of type car. It's going to be an empty array. Next we need access to the loading state. Const loading comma set loading is going to be equals to use state of true. Next const active filter comma set active filter is going to be equals to use state of filter type. Initially it's going to be set to all. Okay, next you're going to have two more things, that is sort by as well as ready and then set ready. I have just added it over here. You can take a look at it. Alright, so now next I'm going to check the condition with the help of a use effect, stating that if at all your sublocation is not present, if at all your start time is not present, or your end time is not present, we need to be going back to the home screen. So I'm going to say use effect, and here this is not going to be dependent on anything, so empty dependency array. Here I'm going to check if not of draft dot sublocation or not of draft dot start time or not of draft dot the end time. I'm going to say router dot replace to be of /main and then home. That's the one. Okay, and then directly try to return from the function. Else I'm just going to say set ready to be of true and load all of the cars for the specific chosen date. Okay, let's implement that as well. I'm going to say const define your load cars functionality, that is going to be equals to async. Again, check the condition stating that if not of draft dot sublocation or draft dot your start time or not of draft dot end time, then try to return. Here next I'm gonna have my try catch block. So yeah, catch of error. I'm gonna say console dot error of error. Okay, and here I'm gonna say finally set loading is gonna be a false. Within the try block, it's pretty simple. I'm going to say const data is going to be equals to, I hope the car service is initialized. Okay, it's from the back end, but we need to add it to the front end part as well. So let me just look into where exactly we're going to add that. Within your services, we're going to have the cars.service.ts. So this is your backend part. Within the front end, we have a services folder. Yeah, here we need to write this part. Also CDS is written, auth is also written. So let me write a function that is going to be get available cars over here. So here I'm going to say export const your car service is going to be equals to, I'm going to say async get available cars, pass on the params. It's gonna have a bunch of details, that is sublocation ID of string. Your start time is gonna be of string. End time is gonna be of string as well. Fuel type is gonna be of string. And transmission is gonna be of string. Okay, your seats is gonna be of number. And over here I'm gonna say promise of car, import that from the types, by the way. Here initialize the result, that's gonna be equals to your await API imported from libaxios. It's already defined in the previous video. Dot get, it's gonna be /cars with all of your params over here. Okay, next I'm going to say return your result dot data. Okay, next we're going to write the function for getting the car details by ID. So add a comma over here. I'm going to say async get car by ID. This is going to have ID of string, that is going to be promise of car. Here initialize the result, that's going to be equals to await API.get. It's going to be your /cars and then / your unique ID. So make use of the dollar and then access it just like this. Here next I'm going to say return result dot data. Next is to calculate the price. I'm going to say async calculate price of all of your params. This in turn is going to take in your car ID, that is going to be of string, and start time, that's going to be string as well. end time is also going to be of string. Okay, here let's try to initialize the result. That's going to be equals to await. Your API.get, it's going to be /cars / your price, and pass on your params over here. Here next I'm going to say return result.data. That's it. So now with the help of this function, we're going to call it within the cars.tsx file that is within your main folder. On this one, yeah, this is the one. So here I'm going to say await your car service from the front end part src folder dot get available cars. Here it's going to take in three things: your sublocation ID, that is going to be draft dot sublocation dot your ID. Next, it's going to take in your start time and end time. So draft dot your start time dot your to ISO string. Next, I'm going to say end time, that's going to be draft dot end time dot to ISO string. Okay, this part is done. So once that's done, next I'm going to say set cars to be of your data. That's it. So this part is done. So next we can get into the return block, and if at all not of ready, we're going to show a blank design over here, just like this. Let's try to return. I'm going to have a safe area view imported from your context, by the way. Pass on the design for this. Class name, give it a flex of 1. BG is going to be 0A, 0A, and then 0F. Just like that, it's working properly fine. We're going to have a outermost view. Within that, touchable opacity imported from React Native. So within the touchable opacity, having a text which is going to have the icon. I'll be just getting that, and I'm also going to add the design for this. You can take a look at it. It's going to look something like this. Okay, this is just an icon. You can use your emoji keyboard and then get that icon, or use your Expo icon as well. Save. There you go. That's looking properly fine. Towards the right hand side, we're going to have two pieces of view. Here having a text which is going to say available cars. Okay, and here I'm going to say text. I'm going to say draft dot sublocation dot name. Option 8. I'm going to say format date. So this method is not yet defined. We need to define this. Of the draft dot your start time to your draft dot end time. I'll be adding that symbol as well. So format date of your draft dot end time. So you can try to enter the format date method. It's pretty simple. Let's add it over here. Const format date is going to be equals to, it's going to take in a D, that's going to be of type date, or null, by the way. If not of D, then directly try to return empty, else we're going to return the D dot to local date string. That's going to look something like this. Okay, save the file. So let's pass on the style for this one. So here I'm going to say class name, text is going to be 5A 5A72, and text of XS empty of 0.5. Save. As you can see, we're able to see that onto the screen. Let's pass on the style for the view over here. Class name, give it a flex of 1, by the way. Within this piece of text, I'm going to say text of white, font of bold, and text of Excel. Save. Let me just remove your flex of 1 once. Okay, so as you can see, it's looking good. Let's give the flex of 1 and let's provide in the style for this. So now the design is going to be looking properly fine. I needed to come into a row fashion. So flex row, item center, px of 6, pt is going to be of 4, and then pb of 4 as well. Save. There you go. That's looking pretty good. Next, we're going to have the city which was chosen, all those details. It's going to come below this view. Having a view for that, within that one more piece of view. We're going to have a self-enclosing view with the design. I'll be adding that. You can take a look at it. That's going to look something like this. It's also going to have a text which is going to show your draft.city.name. Pass on the text. Class name. Text is going to be of white. Text of SM. Font of semi-bold. Let's pass on the view. It needs to be in a row fashion. Flex of row. Items of center. There you go. Bengaluru with that specific dot. So this is working properly fine. Next, we're going to have one more piece of design. That's for the border. As you can see, it's super light. Just as a separator, we're going to add that. Okay, it's going to come right below this specific view. You can take a look at it. Next, we're going to have a text, and I'm going to check if at all my total days. Okay, total days is not initialized. Let's try to access it onto the top. You can try to add it over here. That is just like this. Okay, so here I'm going to say total days. If the value is present, just try to access that, and then day. If my total days is greater than 1, it's going to be in plural, so add a s, else it's going to be empty itself. Save the file. Let's pass on the design for the text. It's going to be text of this color code, that is 9494A8, and text is going to be of SM. Again, we're going to have that design onto the top, below this one, as you have just added it. Save. As you can see, Bengaluru, it's for 1 day. That's 24 hours, so it's being shown correctly fine. So add in the text. If at all loading is true over here, then it's going to be ... else I'm going to say make use of backticks over here. I'm going to say filter.length with respect to the cars. Just add it over there. For the text, I'm going to say class name. Text is going to be E8500A. Text is going to be of XS. Font is going to be of bold. For the view, I'm going to say class name. It's going to have a specific BG over here. That is E85. I'll be adding that. You can take a look at it. It's a long string of designs. Save. As you can see, that's looking good. Now I'm just going to add it for the topmost design. Class name, MX of 6, MB of 4, BG is going to be this color code, that is 13, and then 1A. It's going to have a border, and border is going to be 5 2s and then an E. Rounded is going to be 2XL, PX of 4, PY of 3. It's going to have a flex of row, items of center, and then justify of between. Save the file, and boom, just like that. As you can see, it's working properly fine. So there is some issue with the cars, I guess. Probably filtered is empty. That's the reason it's showing as 0 cars. Let's actually define your filter. If at all we can try to have that over here, because set filter is not yet defined. Load cars is there. Okay, so let's see where exactly is the filter part. Okay, so I'll be adding a apply filter method over here with the help of the use callback hook. So I'm going to say const apply filter is going to be equals to your use callback. This is going to be dependent upon your cars, comma your active filter, comma your sort by. Okay, so over here I'm going to first of all say let result is going to be equals to whatever is there within the cars. Just use the spirit operator and then use that. And if at all your active filter is not equals to all, then I'm going to filter through all of your petrol, diesel, electric, CNG. If at all it includes that, then use that over here. So add it over here just like this. I'm going to say result is going to be equals to result.filter. So for every value, I'm going to say c.fuel type is going to be equals to your active filter. Else I'm going to say result is going to be equals to your result.filter. For every value, I'm going to check c.transmission is going to be equals to your active filter. Next, for the sort by, all right, I'm going to say if at all sort by is equals to your price. Let's try to initialize the result. Result is going to be equals to, or we can directly sort it with the help of the sort function within JavaScript. It's going to take in two values, a comma b. I'm going to say a dot price per day minus your b dot price per day. Else over here I'm going to say result dot sort a comma b. It's just going to be b dot seats minus your a dot seats. And here we can try to set the filtered values of result. Save. So next over here we're going to map over all of the filters that we have, and then we're going to show the horizontal list of details. Okay, that is going to be just like this. I'll be adding it over onto the top, these ones. Okay, save the file, and where we have our view, below that I'm gonna make use of my normal view. Within that scroll view. So this is basically going to be horizontal. So I'm going to say horizontal over here. Show horizontal scroll indicator, set it to be of false. Next I'm going to say class name, it's going to be px of 6, and content container style, that's going to be equals to a gap of 8. Okay, so within the scroll view, map over the filters that I've given above. So it's going to be filters.map. For every value within that specific array, I'm going to render a touchable opacity. Okay, here show the specific text, that's going to be your f.label save. So everything should be shown onto the screen. Key is going to be equals to your f.value. All right, it's going to have a class name as well. Make use of backticks over here, px of 4, py of 2, rounded of xl, border, and here I'm going to check if at all the active filter is going to be equals to your f.value, then it's going to be this piece of color code, else a different bg and then a different border. You can take a look at it, save the file, and boom, just like that. As you can see, everything is scrollable and we're able to see it onto the screen as well. So now for the text over here, I'm going to say class name is going to be equals to backtext initially, so text of xs, font is going to be of semi bold. Again, add in the condition if active filter is going to be equals to the value that's chosen, which is going to be equals to f.value, then here I'm going to say text of white, else it is going to be text of this color code, that is 9494A8. Let's try to save the file, and boom, just like that, it's working properly fine. Let's try to give the on press to this. On press, take in a function, and it is going to be set your active filter to be of the f.value. So that value gets changed, and based on this, it should be working fine. Save the file first of all. There you go. Just like that, it's looking pretty neat and clean. Let's pass on to the view, the design. It's just going to have some MB of 4. Next, we're going to have two more buttons for the sort by, price, and then seats. That's going to be happening over here. Having a text that is going to be sort by. Pass on the class name over here. It's going to be text hashtag 5a and then 72. Text is going to be of xs, mr of 3, and below this we're going to have a touchable opacity. Within that we're going to have a text which is going to say price, here I'm going to say seats. That's going to be the next step. Save should be able to see that on the screen. So for the view, I'm going to say class name, give it a flex of row, items of center, px of 6, mb of 4. And for the touchable opacity, class name, it's going to be a conditional styling, px of 3, py of 1.5, rounded is going to be lg, mr of 2, and if at all your sort by is equals to your price, then we're going to have this piece of color code. I'll be adding that, you can take a look at it just like this. And for your text as well, I'll be adding it. Class name, make use of backticks, text of XS, font of semi bold. Again, if at all your sort by is going to be equals to your price, here change the text part of it. So I'm going to say it's going to be question mark, by the way, over here, text of E85 and then 00A. Okay, else over here, I mean outside of this, so this is going to be a different color code. So text of 5A and then 72. Save. As you can see, for price it's working properly fine. I'll be doing the same thing for the seats. It's going to be the exact same style. I'll also be adding the on press as well. There you go, that's looking good. So there should be text, spelling is wrong for this. Save. And just like that, it's working properly fine. Here I'm going to say on press, take in a function, your set sort by is going to be of price instead of seats, and we're able to switch between both of these things. All right, so yeah, this part is working fine. We can move on to the next part. I think for this the color is not given properly. Yeah, that's looking properly fine. I'm going to add the condition, that is if at all your loading is set to true, then we're going to show a activity indicator with a text message. Here I'm going to say activity indicator, your color, that is going to be equals to E85 A72, and next size is going to be equals to large. We're going to have a text which is going to say finding available cars. We can pass on the design for the view, class name, give it a flex of 1, items of center, justify of center as well. And for the text over here, I'm going to say class name, text of 5A72, and then next I'm going to say text is going to be of SM, empty is going to be of 4. Save. Yeah, we need to also write the design for the error block as well. So the next one is going to be if at all your filtered length equals to 0, if that's true, I'm going to say question mark, else we're going to have some other design over here. Initialize a outer view just like this, else we can directly try to render the flat list. Okay, so here we can say flat list from React Native. I think there is a bracket issue, let's fix that. So first of all, if at all there is no cars present, I'm going to say no cars is available. Okay, and next I'm going to say text no cars match your filters for this lot. Next, for the class name, I'm going to say text of white, font is going to be of bold, text of Excel, MB of 2. Here I'm going to say class name, text is going to be 5A, again 5A and then 72, text is going to be of SM, text is going to be of center, your leading is going to be of 6, right? So next we're going to have a touchable opacity, which is going to have your clear filters design. Okay, I'm going to add that just below this. So touchable opacity, pass on your text. Here I'm going to say clear filters. Pass on the class name for this. It's going to be, text of white. Font is going to be bold and text of SM. For the touchable opacity, class name, empty is going to be of 6. Okay, BG is going to be E8500A. Rounded is going to be 2XL, PX of 6, PY of 3. That's it. And rest over here I'm going to design my flat list. Okay, I'm going to pass in all of the required things, that is your data, key extractor, show vertical scroll indicator, as well as the content container style. You can take a look at this. And your render item, that's important. Here first of all, destructure your item. Here let's try to show a card or card component. Okay, so here I'm going to say car is going to be equals to item. Your total days is going to be equals to total days on press. This in turn is going to take in a function, and I'm going to say handle select car of item. That means what needs to happen. Okay, so handle select car of item. So you can take a look at it. I've just added the brackets issue, so that's fixed. So next we need to define your car card. That's the next step. So we can try to add it over here. Okay, so function car card, or you can try to also create a new component as well. I'm going to say car, next total days, comma your on press. Let's define these types. Car is going to be of type car, it's already imported. Total days is going to be of type number. On press is going to be of void. On press is going to be void. Next here let's try to initialize the total price. It's going to be equals to car dot your price per day multiplied by total number of days. That's already defined onto the top. Next is your fuel color. Okay, so const fuel color is going to be equals to your fuel colors of your car dot fuel type, or it's going to be a hard coded value. That's going to be this color code 9494 and then A8. Here let's try to actually return the touchable opacity. Okay, for this I'm just going to comment it out. So for now let me actually show the design that's going to be cars instead of your filters. Okay, so as you can see, as I saved the file, it's showing no car is available, clear filters. So for clear filters, yeah, we have already set it to be of all. That's by default. So for some reason the car data is not available. Let me just log the car details, console.log. It should be available within your cars, correct? Save. Okay, yeah, so it is present. As you can see, we have some details, but not sure why we are not able to see it onto the screen. Yeah, so let's fix that. First of all, let's continue designing this. Let's later check why exactly it is not showing up. So active opacity is going to be your 0.85. Okay, next is your class name. I'm going to say BG13131A, and your rounded is going to be 3XL. I'm going to say border, and I'm going to write border 5 2s and then E. overflow is going to be hidden. Okay, next within your touchable opacity, I'm going to say view. This is for the car image, by the way, imported from your React Native. For the image, I'm going to pass on the source, which in turn is going to take in the URI. That's going to be car dot your images of 0, and here I'm going to say class name, width of full, and then height of, let's say, 44. That's what I've used, and resize mode is going to be of contain. Save. Okay, and for the view, I'll be adding the design. It's going to have a specific height and then items of center. You can take a look at it. So next is with respect to another view, which in turn is going to have a text which is going to show your fuel types, your fuel labels, by the way. So fuel labels of your car dot your fuel type. So that is going to show your details, that is petrol or manual. Petrol, by the way, that's going to be coming on to the design. So it's going to have absolute positioning. That's for this view. So I'm going to say absolute, a top of 3, and then a left of 3. Around it is going to be XL, PX of 3, and then a PY of 1. For this, I'm going to say style, background color. That's going to be your fuel color plus 20. Okay, that's it. This part is done. So now let's actually see why we are not able to see your filtered items. Okay, even though I've passed on data equals to cars, it's not being shown. Okay, so I think we need to call the apply filter. That's why it's not working. So let me just call that over here. So whenever the screen mounts, we are going to call that. All right, so let's say below this itself, as you can see, it's not called your apply filter. With the help of a use effect, as a side effect, we're going to call this. So this is going to be dependent upon all of your cars, as well as your active filter and your sort by as well. Okay, here I'm just going to call the apply filter method and then save the file, and boom, just like that, as you can see, we're able to see all of the available cars for one day for this specific date, July 12th to July 13th. So that was the missing piece. We were not calling the apply filter method. As you can see, even this is looking properly fine. So we can continue designing this. Okay, so for this specific text, I'm going to pass on the class name. All right, so this is going to say, let's say, text of XS and a font of bold. There you go, that's looking good. And towards the right hand side, we're going to show the transmission of the vehicle, either it's a automatic vehicle or a manual vehicle. So yeah, design one more view for this. That is going to happen over here. I'm going to have in the text over here. I'm going to check if at all my car dot transmission is going to be equals to automatic, then it's going to be auto, else it's going to be manual. Okay, for the view again, it's going to have absolute positioning. Top is going to be of 3, right is going to be of 3 as well. I'm going to say BG white by 80, and border gray of, let's say, 200, rounded of XL, PX of 3, and then a PY of 1. So for your text, I'm going to say class name, text gray of 600, text of XS, font of semi bold, and save. There you go, just like that, we're able to see that specific design. So now let's come back to the bottom block and then let's start designing this. So below this, we're going to have the view. Let's add in a new view, and here we're going to have one more inner view, by the way, another view right over here, pass on the text. Okay, this is going to show your car dot name. That's the first step, car dot name. Below this, it's going to show the car dot brand as well as the car dot year. I'll be adding that. You can take a look at it, save the file. As you can see, just like that, it's working properly fine.
So let's design this properly. I'm going to say, text of white, font is going to be of bold, text is going to be of 2XL. And for this specific view, class name, it's going to be flex of 1. Save the file. Alright, so now next for the outermost view, let's give in some internal spacing. That's going to be padding of 4. For this one, I'm going to say class name, give it, a flex of row. Items is going to be of start, and justify is going to be of between, and then MB of 3. Save the file. There you go. Just like that, it's looking pretty neat. And towards the right hand side, we're going to show the price per day for that specific dates the user has chosen. Add in a view. You're having one more piece of text that is going to show car dot your price per day dot to local string. Okay, let's pass on the text over here. I'm going to say text is going to be E8500A, and I'm going to say font is bold, text of 2XL. Next, I'm going to have one more piece of text that is going to say per day. Alright, pass on the class name. So your text is going to be of this specific color code, that is 949488. Apart from that, I'm going to say text of XS. Font is going to be of medium. For this specific view, class name, items is going to be of int. There you go. Just like that's looking properly fine. I'll just be adding the rupee symbol. You can take a look at it. Save. This is complete. So now the next step is to show all of the specifications, that is 5 seats, 300 km per day, and then 13 km per extra. Alright, so yeah, that's gonna happen right below this specific view. Having a outermost view for this, and you're basically gonna map over all of this. I'll be adding that. You can take a look at it. That is this one. I'm gonna say dot map for every spec, comma your I. I'm gonna have a view that's gonna be rendered. Here we're gonna have a text which is gonna show your spec. Your key is gonna be equals to index. Your class name, that is gonna be equals to bg of 0a, 0a, and then 0f. Okay, I'll be adding the border, and I'm gonna say border hashtag 222 and then a e. Rounded is gonna be xl. Px of 3 and then py is gonna be 1.5. This part is done, and for the text which says spec, pass on the class name. It's gonna have text of white, text of XS, and then a font of semi-bold. For the outermost view, let's pass on the class name. I'm gonna say flex of row, MB is gonna be a 4, save. Just like that, we're able to see all of the design onto the screen. We can move on to the next bit. That's going to be to design your AC, Bluetooth, all these features. These are basically the car features. Let's have in a view. I'm going to say a car dot map over the features dot slice. We need the first 3 features, 0, 3. Here I'm going to say dot map for every feature and then your index. Let's try to render a view. Within this, having a text. Okay, show that specific value. Here I'm going to say class name. I'm going to say text E8500A. Apart from that, I'm going to say text is going to be of XS and font is going to be of semi-bold. For the outermost view, I'm going to say key is going to be index and class name is going to be bg. I'll be adding that. You can take a look at it for your entire view, just like this. Save. And there you go, it's working properly fine. And for the view, I'm going to say class name, give it a flex of row, and then flex of wrap so it doesn't overflow, and then MB of 4. That's looking pretty neat. So this part is complete. And if at all your car.features.length is greater than 3, we're going to show that specific design. That is, we have more features for that specific car, just like this. Save. As you can see, for this we have 2 more features. It's going to show 2 more. So it's basically going to be car.features.length minus 3 because we are showing 3 features over here. Okay, to show the remaining features, we're going to minus and then show those many features. So the next is your total price for that specific day, and we're going to have your view for that. I'm going to say view. Within that, you one more piece of view. Let's have in a text, and here I'm going to say total for total days. Here I'm going to say day, and I'm going to say total days. If it's greater than 1, it's going to be plural, so S, else a empty string. Save the file. Below the text, I'm going to have one more piece of text which is going to show your total price dot to local string. So both of them have been shown on the screen. Let's pass on the design for the first piece of text. Class name, it's going to be text of 9494 and then A8. Text is going to be of XS, and then font is going to be of medium. For this piece of text, class name, it's going to be text of white, font of bold, text of 2XL. For your outermost view, I'm going to say class name, it's going to be flex of row. Okay, items of center, justify is going to be of between, PT of 3, border T, and then border is going to be of this color code, that is 222 and then a E. Save the file. As you can see, that's looking pretty good. And for the rightmost part, we're going to have a button that's going to say book now. You can take a look at it. Just like that, the design is looking pretty crisp, clean and neat as well. I'll be adding your rupee symbol right next to your total price. That's going to be this specific text, and boom, just like that, this is complete. Let's write the next function. That is going to be handle select car. Let's first of all create a car detail page. That's going to be the next step. I'm going to say car detail.tsx, rnfes. Save. Come back over here. Let's write your function onto the top. That's going to be handle select car. So const handle select car is going to be equals to, it's going to take in the car info of type car. Here set your car to be of that specific car, and then router dot, it's going to be push / main and then car detail. Save the file. Yeah, no issues. So now once you press on book now, we should be navigated to the next part, or even the car as well. Let's say book now. Okay, as you can see, the on press is not working properly. Fine. I think we need to give it to the touchable opacity. That part is missing. That is on press equals to on press. As you can see, it's not taken this value. On press equals to on press. Save. Okay, there is an issue over here. Okay, so let's just say detail for now. We cannot have the hyphen, by the way, or spaces. Save. So now it should work. Book now, and boom, just like that, we are coming into the car detail screen. That is going to look something like this. Okay, let's go and then start designing this. So on the top, I'm going to have some imports, that is your fuel colors as well as the fuel labels. We have done that previously. So come back to car details and then add in this piece of code. Next, I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to say export default your function. I'm going to say car detail. Here initially I'm going to set your draft. So I'm going to say const draft is going to be equals to your use booking store. Next here I'm going to say const car is going to be equals to your drafted car. Let's initialize the data for the pricing. const pricing comma set pricing is going to be equals to use state of any initially set to null. Next, const loading price comma set loading price is going to be equals to use state of true. Here I'm going to have a use effect, import that from React. It's going to be running on an initial mount, so pass in an empty dependency array and check the condition that if at all your car information is present and your draft dot start time as well as your draft dot end time is present, then you can go ahead and then load the pricing for the car for those specific dates. It's going to be load price or load pricing, just like this. Let's implement that as well. It's going to be a pretty simple function. So const load pricing is going to be equals to async method. So this should be load pricing or different function name. All right, here having your try catch block, so try and then catch of error. I'm going to say console.error of error, and your finally block, I'm going to say set loading price to be of false. Within your try, I'm going to say const data is going to be await access your car service from your frontend src folder dot we have the calculate price defined, use that. This in turn is going to take in three things if you remember: your car ID, your start time as well as your end time. So car ID is going to be equals to your car dot your ID. Next, your start time, that's going to be with the help of draft dot start time dot to ISO string. Finally, it receives a end time as well. Draft dot end time dot to ISO string. Okay. So yeah, this part is done. So next here I'm going to say set your pricing to be of data. I'm going to have in two more functions, not functions, one is a function and one is a variable, but it's for fuel color. It's already defined previously. Use that as well as your format date. Now next over here, let's try to define your return block. I'm going to say return a safe area view from your safe area context. Let's pass on the design for this. A flex of 1, bg is going to be 0a, 0a and then 0f. Save the file. There you go. It's working properly fine. It's going to have a header which says car details. That's going to be exactly just like this. Having a view imported from React Native. We're going to have a touchable opacity. Within that, we're going to have your back button as you're able to see it onto the screen. Import router from React Native and also text from React Native. Save. There you go. That's being shown onto the screen. We're going to have a text which is going to say car details. So let's pass on the design for this class name. I'm going to say text of white, font is going to be of bold, text is going to be of LG. Next, we're going to have a self-enclosing view with a specific width. For the outermost view, I'm going to give the design. Flex of row, item center, justify of between, px of 6, pt of 4, pb of 4 as well. Save. There you go. Just like that is looking properly fine. So from here on, we're going to have your scroll view design. So here I'm going to say scroll view. I'm going to say show vertical scroll indicator. I'm going to set it to be false. Content container style. I'm going to say padding bottom, that's going to be 120. Okay, so here I'm going to have in your car image your badges as well as your other remaining parts. It's going to be the exact same thing. I'll be adding the design for that. You can take a look at it. That's going to be coming right over here. Import image from React Native. You can pretty much take this from the previous screen. Save. There you go. Just like that, it's working properly fine. So next, onto the top below your load pricing, I'm going to add few more use effects. That's important. It's going to be dependent upon car. If not of car, I'm going to say router dot back. If not of car, return null. And one more design as well. That's right over here. Save. The next step is to show your price as well as your name for the car. Okay. This also is done previously, so just add the design for that from the previous screen. So I'm going to add it right over here. You can adjust your styles accordingly. So yeah, this part is done. The next step is for your pickup info. Having a view, it's going to have a text which is going to say pickup details. Pass on the design for this. Text is going to be of this color code 9494A8. Okay, next, text of XS, font of bold, tracking widest, uppercase, MB of 4. That's working properly fine. For the view, class name, MX of 6, BG is going to be 1313 and then 1A. It's going to have a border, and border is going to be 222 and then E. 5 times 2 and then E. Rounded is going to be 3XL. Internal spacing padding of 5. MB of 6. There you go. Just like that. That's looking pretty neat. You're going to have the from details as well as your pickup details as well. We're going to show that specific design. So yeah, below your text, having a view. Within that, one more piece of view. We're going to have a text which is going to say from. We're going to have one more piece of text that's going to show your draft dot your sublocation dot name. Next, you're going to have one more piece of text that's going to be your draft dot sublocation dot your address. For this, I'm going to say class name. It's going to be flex of row, MB of 4. For the inner view, I'm going to say give it a flex of 1, MR of 3. So for the text which says from, it's going to be this piece of code 9494A8. I'm going to say text of XS. Font is going to be semi-bold. Uppercase. Tracking is going to be wider. MB of 1. Save. As you can see, we're able to see that onto the screen. It's looking good. For this one, text of white. Font is going to be of bold. Text is going to be of base. For this one, I'm going to say class name. Text is going to be 5A5A72. Text of XS. MT of 0.5. There you go. That's looking pretty neat. Next, I'll be adding your divider. That's going to come right below this piece of view. Next, similarly, we're going to have your city.name as well as the city.state. I'll be adding that right over here. You can take a look at it. There you go. Just like that, from Belandur, city is going to be this one. Okay, so below this piece of view, I'm going to add a self-enclosing view. I'm going to say class name. It's going to be height of px, and then bg is going to be this color code 5 times 2 and then a e. MB is going to be a 4. Next, again, we're going to have the entire same design just like this, but instead of from, we're going to have pickup. Okay, so let's add that over here. Let's use this text over here. So pickup details is there over here. We're going to say, okay, my bad. Okay, not this. This should be, I guess, pickup and return. Okay, that is going to be just like this. Save. As you can see, that's looking properly fine. So below the text, I'm going to have one more piece of text that is going to show if all your draft dot your start time is there, then it's going to be format date of draft dot start time. Okay, next, one more piece of text. Here we're going to say draft dot start time is there, then it's going to be your format time. This method is not yet added of your draft dot start time. Let's define your format time method onto the top. It's pretty simple. I'll be adding that. You can take a look at it. Okay, taking a D that's going to be of type date, and we're going to convert it into D.to local time string. So previously we converted it into D.to local date string. Since this is a format time method, converted into to local time string, English India, pass on your hour, minute as well as the digits. So yeah, this part is done. Let's come back and then design all of the texts. It's going to be pretty similar. Text of white, font is going to be of bold, text is going to be of base. Here I'm going to say class name, text is going to be of 5A 72, text of XS, empty is going to be 0.5. So here for your outermost view, it's going to be in a row fashion, by the way, and in that this is going to have a flex of 1, so everything takes up equal space within the container. So flex of 1, mr of 3. Just like that, this is looking pretty neat. I'll be adding the right part of the design as well. You can take a look at it. Save. Okay, there you go. This is looking pretty neat. The next step is with your specifications, what and all details are present for the car card. Okay, so that's going to happen right over here. Have in a view. Within this, we're going to have a text which is going to say specifications. Pass on the design for this. Class name. Text is going to be of white. Font is going to be of bold. Text of XL. MB is going to be of 4. For the outermost view, some margin and padding. MX of, let's say, 6. MB of 6 as well. Next, we're going to have a view. I'm going to say spec items. I think this needs to be defined onto the top. I'll be adding that. You can take a look at it. This is an array of objects, by the way. That's going to be just like this. Okay, we're going to have the label as well as the value. All of them are going to be dynamic with respect to the car information that is going to be stored. Okay, we have your fuel type, your transmission, your seats, years, kilometer limit, extra kilometer as well. So with the help of that information, I'm going to design this. So here I'm going to say your spec items dot map for every spec comma your I. I'm going to show a view. Within this view, I'm going to have a text which is going to show your label, by the way, spec.label. Next, it's going to show your spec.value. Pass on the text, and here I'm going to say spec.value. For the first text, pass on the design. Class name, text is going to be of this one, 9494A8. Text XS, font is going to be semi-bold, uppercase, tracking is going to be wider, MB is going to be of 1. For this class name, I'm going to say text of white, font is going to be of bold, and text is going to be of base. For the outermost view, I'm going to say class name, flex of row, and then flex of wrap. Pass on a style that's going to be a gap of 10. For this specific view, I'm going to say key is going to be I. Class name, bg is going to be 13, 13, and then 1a. It's going to have a border. Border is going to be 5 times 2 and then a e. Alright. Rounded is going to be 2xl. Padding of 4. And just like that's looking properly fine, there should come a view below because it's almost attaching it to the previous one. There you go. It's looking properly fine. Okay, so make the width as 47%, so it takes up the space just like this. So this part is done. So now the next step is to show your features part of it. Let me go ahead and then design that. It's going to be simple. Below this specific view, having a view, having a text which is going to say features, pass on the class name that is going to be text of white, font of bold, text is going to be of XL, MB of 4. Here class name, MX of 6, MB of 6 as well. We're going to have a view. I'm going to say car.features dot map for every f and I over here. I'm going to have a view showing your value as well as the feature. So that's going to be f. As you can see, all of them are being shown on the screen. It's currently dark. For the view, I'm going to say key is going to be equals to I for this specific view, by the way. And your class name, I'm going to say bg is going to be 13, 13, and then 1a. Next, I'm going to say border. I'm going to say border is going to be 5 times 2 and then a e. Rounded is going to be 2xl. px of 4, py of 2.5. Alright, and I'm going to say flex of row. Items is going to be of center. And for the text which says f, that's the feature itself. Pass on the class name. Text is going to be of white. Text of sm. Font is going to be of semi-bold. And I'm going to have a self-enclosing view with a style. That's basically your dotted structures. It's going to come over here. There you go. Just like that's looking fine. So for the outermost view, that contains the mapped design. So class name, flex of row, flex of wrap, pass on a style, some gap between all of the children. That's going to be 8. As you can see, it's working properly fine. AC, Bluetooth, and then your power windows. Next, let's try to implement your price breakdown structure. That's the last step for this specific screen. Pass on a text which is going to say pricing breakdown. Class name, text is going to be of white, font is going to be of bold, text of XL, MB of 4. Having a view. If at all a loading price is true, okay, I'm going to show a design. Let's add in that design your view. Within that, I'm going to have a activity indicator. Pass on the color, by the way. That's going to be equals to E8500A. Yeah, and if at all we do have all of the pricing present, then we're going to show the details for that. So I think we have one more piece of condition right over here, that is if at all your pricing is present, else it's going to be null over here. So here I'm going to basically map over some details. That is, we're going to have your base price, your kilometer limit, your extra kilometer charge. For all of that we're going to map, okay, and also your hourly price. So these are going to be all of your objects within the array, just like this. Okay, here we can use the map method for every row index as well as your array. That's how your map works. Pass on a view. Within this, pass on a text that's going to show your row.label. I'm going to have one more piece of text that's going to show your row.value. For the view, I'm going to say key is going to be equals to index. Your class name, text is going to be your 9494 and then A8. Text is going to be of SM. Font is going to be of medium. For this specific one, I'm going to say text of white. Font is going to be of bold. Text of SM. Okay, and for the outermost view, I'm going to say class name, make use of backticks by the way, a flex of row, items of center, justify between, because all of the details are in between over here for each piece of row, px of 5, py of 4, and here check the condition and then add the design. That is just like this. Save and boom, just like that. Is looking pretty neat. So now for your outermost view, I'm going to give the design some margin, basically mx of 6, mb of 6. Okay, for the view, bg next I'm going to say border. I'm going to say border 5 times 2 and then a e. Rounded is going to be 3xl. Overflow is going to be hidden. Let's try to save. There you go. Just like that. This is looking pretty neat, crisp and clean as well. Now the final step is to show the design that's going to say confirm booking. It's going to be a sticky button. I'll be adding the code for that. You can take a look at it, and this is going to be coming right below the scroll view just to make it sticky onto the screen. Okay, next is your booking confirm. I'll be adding that screen. That's the screen we're going to design next. So booking confirm.tsx rnfes. Okay, we can just say confirm for now. Same thing over here as well. Save the file. Save the previous file as well, car detail, and boom, just like that, confirm booking is being shown. Press on this and we are into the booking confirm screen. That's going to look something like this. That's going to be the next step, and after that we can just say the booking is done. So these are the remaining screens, and we also need to set up the backend as well. That is for your booking controller. That is not yet done. We'll be doing that too. So now let's first of all design this specific screen that's going to be book confirm screen.tsx. So here initially let's try to implement a export default function. So I'm going to say export default function. So yeah, it's going to be your booking confirm. And first of all, let me just try to get all of the hooks over here. So I'm going to say const draft, comma, your reset draft is going to be coming from your use booking store. Okay, next is with respect to your loading and set loading. So I'm going to say const loading, comma, set loading is going to be equals to your use state and initially set to false. Next, let's try to set the car information. That's going to be your draft.car, your start time information. So let's say start time is going to be equals to draft.start time. Const end time is going to be equals to draft.end time. Okay, So next we're going to add a guard in the use effect. So let's try to add it, and we're going to check if at all there is no car, no start time, no end time. We're going to say router dot go back. So import use effect from React. Okay, here I'm going to check if not of car or not of start time or not of end time. Here I'm going to say router dot back. All right, so next is we're going to do a early return after all of the hooks, that is a blank view with the help of this condition. Okay, next you're going to have again the similar helper functions you can copy down from the previous screen, that is your format date as well as the format time. So yeah, let's format it over here. Now we can get into the return block. The design is going to look something like this. You have already checked it out. Okay, so according to that design, we're going to design this specific screen. So return, I'm going to return a safe area view. Let's pass on the class name. It's going to have a flex of 1. BG is going to be 0A 0A and then 0F. And here I'm going to say view. Next I'm going to say touchable opacity, and I'll be adding the back button. You can take a look at it. You can pretty much take it from the previous screen as well. It's going to look simple. It's going to look super similar. Save, and there you go. Just like that, it's working fine. For your view, I'm going to give the class name. It's going to say flex of row, item center, justify between px of 6, pt of 4, pb of 4. Okay, next you're going to have a text which is going to say confirm booking. Okay, I'm just going to add a outermost view so that your confirm booking text is going to be centered over here. Okay, so the color is not given, that's the reason we're not able to see it onto the screen. Class name, I'm going to say text of white, font of bold, text of LG, and save. As you can see, that is looking good. Now the next is all of your steps, that is to show your progress bar. Okay, so below this specific view, I'm going to initialize a scroll view. So here I'm going to say show vertical scroll indicator, that is going to be false. Apart from that, I'm going to say content container style. We're going to say padding bottom is going to be of 130. Okay, and here I'm going to initialize a view, and I'm going to create a hard-coded array that is going to have select car, review, and then your confirm. We're going to map over that and then show the progress design. It's going to look something like this. Let's make use of braces. Here I'm going to say dot map for every step and then your index. Here I'm going to have a view. Okay, so within this view, I'm going to have another view. This is to show basically your left hand side of the code, that is going to be your index value. Okay, that is, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, not left hand side, your top side, bottom side is going to be the value of the string, correct? So within this, I'm going to have a text. So indexing starts from 0, so we need to add I plus 1. So for the text, I'm going to say class name, text is going to be of white, text is going to be of XS, font is going to be of bold. And for this specific view, I'm going to say class name, width of 8, height of 8, rounded is going to be full, item center, justify is going to be center, and BG is going to be E8500A. Save. And just like that, you're able to see all of those 3 designs, which is good. So here I'm going to say key is going to be equals to index. Class name, I'm going to say flex of row, items of center, and then flex of 1. And next I'm going to show your step itself. So let's try to add the design for that. That's going to come right over here. Save. There you go. That's looking good. Now for the outermost view also we need to give the flex, so it comes into a row fashion. So here I'm going to say flex row, item center, px of 6, mb of 8. And boom, just like that. As you can see, it's looking properly good. So now we're gonna add the line. So if I is less than 2, so this is gonna have your border kind of design. I'll be adding that. So yeah, let's try to save the file. And there you go. Just like that, this is looking properly fine. So next is with respect to your card car. That's gonna look like this. Okay. So over here, I'm gonna have a view. I'm gonna have one more view. Okay, so for the topmost view, I'm going to pass on the design. You can pretty much copy down from your previous screen where we have shown the card for the car. So that's going to be the color code. Next, it's going to have a border and border of this one. I'm going to say rounded of 3XL. Overflow is going to be hidden, and then MB of 6. Okay, so I'll be adding the design for your image. You can take a look at it. Import image from React Native. It's going to take in a source, and to access is going to be car.images of 0. Save. And there you go. Just like that, the chosen car is being shown. Next, below this view, we're going to have more information. Add in a view. We're going to have one more piece of view. Another view where we're going to show your car.name as well as your car.brand. Just like this. Save. For the upper view, I'm going to have a flex of 1 being given. For this specific view, class name, some internal spacing padding of 5. Here I'm going to say class name. It's going to be flex of row, items of center, justify of between. Save. Just like that, it's looking properly fine. Towards the right hand side, you can copy down the code that we have done previously. That is to show the price. Okay, so let's go and then add it over here. There you go, it got added. I think just the font size is less compared to the previous screen. You can add it over here. Next is with respect to your seats, manual as well as petrol. I'll be adding that as well. So even that is added previously. As you can see, that's your petrol, manual, and then the total number of seats. Come back over here. So right below this view, I'm gonna have one more piece of view, and here we can map over your car dot seats. Here I'm gonna say seats. Okay, and here I'm going to check card or transmission. If it is equals to automatic, it's going to be auto, else it's going to be manual. Here I'm going to say car dot fuel type. Okay, so dot map over here. For every value, I'm going to show a view over here. Okay, I'll be adding the design for this. You can take a look at it. It's going to be just like this. Okay, so yeah, this part is done. I think they should be coming below this view, not over here. Let's add it over here. Save. There you go. That's looking super clean and crisp. Let's move on to the next one. That is to show all of your trip details. So yeah, below this view, let's initialize that. A view. Within that, we're going to have a text which is going to say trip details. Okay, class name for this, it's going to have a text of white, by the way. Your font is going to be of bold, text of XL, MB of 4. Your view is going to be class name MX of 6 and then MB of 6. Save the file. There you go. That's looking neat. Next I'm gonna have one more piece of view. Within that we're gonna have a couple of views. Let me add that. Okay, within this we're gonna have a self-enclosing views that is for all of this design. Okay, as you can see, so this is for the green dot as well as your orange dot for the pickup and then the drop off details. So yeah, below this I'm gonna have a view. Within that one more piece of view. Here I'm gonna have a text basically that is gonna say pickup. Let's pass on the design for this. Class name, it's gonna be text E8500A. Next I'm gonna say text of XS. Font of bold. Tracking is gonna be widest. Uppercase. And then MB of 1. Alright, so below this I'm gonna have one more piece of text. I'm gonna say format date of start time. Next it's gonna be format time of start time. So all these functions are already defined. And I'm gonna use a dot. So in Mac it's gonna be option 8. And I'm gonna say draft dot your sublocation dot your name. Let's pass on the design for the second one. Class name. Text is gonna be of white color. Font of bold. Text of base. Here I'm gonna say class name. Text of 949 4A8. Text of SM. Font of medium. Okay, save. As you can see, that is looking good. Let me start giving the design for the topmost views. That's the inner views, by the way. So first of all, for this one I'm going to pass on the design. So class name, add it just like this. There you go, we're able to see that background. The inner view needs some internal spacing, so let's say padding of 5. Here I'm going to say class name, give it a flex of row. Items is going to be of stretch. There you go, that's looking clean. And for this one I'm going to pass on MR of 4, so some spacing is given, and then items of center. Okay, just like that, the design is looking super clean. So this part is done. So now next, below this we're going to have one more piece of text. I forgot to add it. That's going to show the address. It's super light. You can try to change the color or make it look even more brighter. This part is done. I'm just going to copy down this view and then add it one more time. That is over here. Alright, so instead of pickup, it's going to be return. Okay, and it's going to be format date of your end time. Next, it's just going to be format date of end time. And draft dot sublocation dot name. Here there is no address because it's going to be in the pickup part. Okay, so for this view, there is no design as such. And for this one, I'm going to say class name, give it a flex of 1. For this, I'm going to say pass on a MB of 5. There you go. Just like that is looking pretty neat. And this part is complete. We can move on to the next step, where we're going to show the total number of days, total number of hours. Okay, that is this piece of design. Days, hours, as well as kilometer limit for the chosen time. So let me add it over here. Pass on a view. Within that, one more piece of view. Let's add in a text. That's going to be total days. I don't think this is initialized onto the top. That is total days, total price, total kilometer limit. So below this, I'm going to say const total days is going to be equals to your math.ceil of your total hours divided by 24, because that's how we get the date. So total hours is simple. We need to do a math.round it should be end time minus start time divided by the formula. That's going to be 1000 into 60 into 60. Okay, that is just like this. Next is for your total price. So const total price is going to be equals to car dot price per day multiplied by total days. Next I'm going to say const kilometer limit total is going to be car dot kilometer limit per day multiplied by your total days. Okay, so yeah, this step is done. Next over here, let's try to show the total number of days. Below this, I'm gonna have in a text which is gonna say days, and over here I'm gonna say class name, give it a flex of row, border is gonna be of t, and border is gonna be okay, just like this, 5 2s and then a e. Here class name, a flex of 1, py is going to be of 3, items of center, border is going to be of r, and border is going to be of this one. Okay, so for the text which says total number of days, I'm going to say text of white, and I'm going to give font of bold and text of Excel. Class name, text is going to be 9494A8, and text is going to be XS, font is going to be of medium. Save. There you go, that's looking good. Let's try to copy this down a couple of times and then make the change. This is going to be total number of hours. This is going to be total, kilometer limit total. This is going to say kilometer limit. This is basically going to say hours. There you go, just like that the result got added. This is looking good. The next step is to show your price breakdown. That's going to be over here. So yeah, I think we have also done this previously. So here we have base price for 1 day, and here we have daily rate. Just the string name is changed. Apart from that, we have kilometer limit, extra kilometer charge, total fees. Here we have hourly rate. So you can just take it down from the previous screen and then we can try to add it over here. That's going to be right over here. That's going to be just like this. So just change the kilometer limit total according to our string value. Save. Confirm booking. There you go, just like that everything got added. So yeah, this part is done. We can move on to the next step, that is to show your policy value. I'm gonna have a view, by the way. Here I'm gonna have a text which is gonna say cancellation policy. Next I'm gonna have one more piece of text which is gonna say free cancellation up to 1 hour before pickup, and then no refund. After that, pass on the class name for this. I'm going to say mx of 6, bg is going to be 00d 4AA and then 10. I'm going to say border, and border is going to be 00d 4AA 30. Rounded, I'm going to pass on to Excel, px of 4 and then py of 4 as well. So for this one, I'm going to say text is going to be of this color code 00d and then 4AA. Apart from that, I'm going to say text of XS, font is going to be of bold, tracking is going to be of widest, uppercase, MB of 2. For this one, class name, text is going to be of 9494A8. Okay, text is going to be of SM, leading is going to be of 6. Save the file. There you go, just like that, this got added.
Now the next and final step is to show your sticky design. That is, we're going to say confirm and book now. After that, we're going to be going into the done screen. So yeah, below the view or below the scroll view, so the sticky design is going to come. Having a view, having one more piece of view. Within that one more view, I'm going to have in a text that is going to say total payable. Below that, I'm going to have one more piece of text that is going to say total price dot to local date string. I think your total price is not defined. Let me just verify that once. Yeah, it is there. Yep, it is there. So let's try to add it over here. Save. As you can see, it's very light. You cannot see anything onto the screen. So below the view, I'm gonna have one more piece of view. I'm gonna have one more piece of text that's gonna say duration. Here I'm gonna see. Here I'm gonna add your total days. If at all, yeah, I mean after this I'm gonna say day. If at all your total days is greater than 1, it's gonna be in S, that is basically in plural, else just a empty string. Okay, so I'm gonna say option 8, that's gonna be total hours. Here I'm gonna say items is gonna be of end because it's gonna come towards the right hand side. Okay, for the duration I'm gonna say class name. This is gonna have a text of this piece of code 9494 and then A8. Okay, text is gonna be of XS, font is gonna be of medium. So for the outermost one, I'm gonna say class name, give it absolute positioning. Bottom is gonna be of 0, left of 0, right of 0 as well. PX of 6, PB of 8, PT of 4, BG is gonna be 0A, 0A and then 0F. Okay, border is gonna be of T and border is gonna be 5 2s and then a E. Within this I'm gonna say class name, flex of row, item center, justify of between, MB of 4. Save. As you can see, we're able to see that onto the screen. So for total payable, I'm gonna add the design for this. Save. Okay, so this step is done. Below the view, that is over here, I'm gonna have a touchable opacity. I'm gonna check if at all my loading state is true. Based on that, we're gonna have in your conditional design over here. So here I'm gonna have a text. Here, first of all, let's try to add a view with an activity indicator. So I'm gonna say a color that's gonna be equals to FFF, and your size is gonna be equals to small. Below this, I'm gonna have a text that is gonna say confirming booking if at all your loading is true. Dot 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 dot, and within the text, I'm gonna say confirm and book now. So for the touchable opacity, I'm going to say disable. If at all your loading is true. Active opacity, that's going to be 0.85. I'm going to say class name over here, that is going to be BG E85 and then 00A. Rounded is going to be 2XL. PY of 5. Items of center. For the view, I'm going to say class name, flex of row, items of center. Save, and there you go.
just like that's looking good. I think it's actually overlapping that. Let me just check the design where exactly it's messed up. And for this also I'm going to pass in the design. Text is going to say white. Font is going to be of bold. Text base. Tracking is going to be widest and then uppercase. There you go, just like that I've added it. So just make sure the view is within, the view is a large parent and not the touchable opacity. Okay, so this is the entire design for your confirm booking screen. This part is complete. So now the next step is to go into the backend part and then design all of your controllers, services for the booking service. Okay, that's the final step remaining. So we can try to come to the services folder in the backend. Here, new file, bookings dot service dot ts. Okay, here I'm going to say interface, create booking input. Here let's define the type. It's going to have your user ID, that is going to be of string. Your car ID, it's going to be of string as well. Start time, it's going to be of date. End time, it is going to be of date as well. So next here I'm going to say export const booking service equals to async. It's going to be the first method, create booking. This in turn is going to have your input, and I'm going to say it's going to be of type create booking input. So we need access to your user ID, your car ID, start time, end time. So destructure the value const user ID, comma car ID, comma start time, comma end time is going to be equals to input. So first of all, we're going to verify if at all the car exists and if it is available, correct? So const car is going to be equals to await Prisma imported from utils dot car. First of all, implement the find unique method here where ID is going to be of the card. Okay, not card, car ID. And let's also include all of these details with the sublocation. I'm going to say include is going to be true. Okay, next check the conditions, that is if at all not of car, then I'm going to say throw new error. I'm going to say car not found. And next, if my car.status is going to be equals to in maintenance, again we're going to say throw new error. I'm going to say car is under maintenance. Okay, that's it. The next step is to check for overlapping bookings, that is to prevent your double booking preventions. I'm going to initialize the overlap over here equals to await your prisma.booking. I'm going to say find first. Here I'm going to say where your car ID status is going to be in your pending or your confirmed or active. Okay, here I'm also going to use the OR operator and check in the conditions, that is just like this. You can add it. That's it for the overlap bit. I'm going to check if at all my overlap is present, then throw new error. Here I'm going to say car is not available for the selected time slot. The next step is to calculate your pricing bit of it. I'm going to say const hours is going to be equals to end time dot get time. We've already done this previously. You can use the same formula, minus start time dot get time divided by your 1000 multiplied by 60 into 60. Next, const days is going to be equals to your math.ceil of your hours divided by 24. Let's initialize your base price as well. First of all, check the condition. If at all your hours is less than or equals to 12, it is just going to be your car dot your price per hour multiplied by those many hours. Else it is going to be, if it is more than 12 hours, it's going to be car dot price per day multiplied by days. Next, const total price, that is going to be equals to math dot round of your base price const kilometer limit total is going to be equals to car dot kilometer limit per day multiplied by days. So yeah, that's it. This is your pricing calculation. So the next step is to create a booking in a transaction. Let's try to create a booking. Const booking is going to be equals to await your Prisma dot dollar transaction. It's going to be an async method having your transaction over here. So first of all, we're going to recheck your overlap inside the transaction to prevent your race condition. So I'm going to say const tx overlap is going to be equals to await tx dot booking dot your find first. Here I'm going to say where your car ID and status is going to be in your pending, confirmed, and then your active. Okay, here I'm going to have the OR operator with the similar conditions that we've added previously. That's it. So here I'm going to say if at all we do have the overlap, then throw new error with car is not available for selected time slot. So once that's done, here I'm going to say return tx dot booking dot create. I'm going to say data, that is going to be user ID, car ID, start time, end time, status is going to be equals to your booking status from the Prisma client dot confirmed. Next, I'm going to add in your total hours, your base price, your kilometer limit total, okay, as well as your pickup address. And over here I'm going to include all of these details as well. Your car, within that include your sub location, and your city is going to be true. Okay, so yeah, this part is done. Next, I'm just going to show the logger, and then we're going to return the booking. That's going to be over here. Import logger from the utils. Save. So yeah, this step is done. Now the next step is to get the user bookings over here. It's going to be simple. So async user bookings. Here I'm going to say user ID. That is going to be your string. Your status, that is going to be your booking status. Here I'm going to say return your Prisma dot booking dot find many. Here where I'm going to have in my user ID, and here I'm going to say dot 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 of your status and status. Okay, so next over here I'm going to say include, I'm going to say car, next I'm going to say select. So all of these details we're going to pass in over here. ID is going to be true, name is going to be true as well, your brand of the car is going to be true, model is true, images is also going to be true, your fuel type is going to be again true. Next is your transmission, it's going to be true, seats is going to be true, and your sublocation is also going to be added over here. That is just like this. Okay, and we're going to do order by, created ad in the descending order. That's going to be over here. Save. This step is done. That's the simple function for getting the user bookings. First of all, get the ID. With the help of ID, find the booking in the backend, and then also with respect to status, and include all of these details so we can show it onto the screen. The next step is to get the booking by ID. That is, for a specific booking, we need to show the information. So I'm going to say async get booking by ID of your booking ID, that is going to be of string, and user ID is also going to be of string. Here I'm going to say const booking is going to be equals to await prisma.booking.find unique. Here I'm going to say where ID is going to be booking ID, include is going to be of the car. Here again include your sublocation, furthermore include your city as well. Okay, and just check the condition stating that if at all not of your booking, then we can say throw new error, booking is not found. And next I'm going to say if my booking dot your user ID is not equals to your user ID, I'm going to say throw new error, which is going to say unauthorized. Here I'm going to say return booking. Next I'm going to say async cancel booking ID, it is going to be of string, user ID is also going to be of string over here. So I'll be adding it for the cancel booking. You can take a look at it. Okay, so yeah, this is your function for the cancel booking. First of all, find the booking ID. If at all it's not found, show booking not found, and check all of the conditions. That is, if at all the status is cancelled, completed or active, show the error messages. And we're only going to allow cancellation if at all the start time is at least 1 hour away, that is before. Okay, and yeah, once we're going to calculate this, and after that is done, we're going to say const updated is going to be equals to, we're going to update the backend with the booking ID, and we're going to set the status to be of cancelled. That's what we are doing over here. That's the complete code for your booking part. Next, let's try to create it for the controller. So I'm going to say booking.controller.ts, come back to the controllers file, new file, booking, or bookings.controller.your.ts. Okay, onto the top I'm going to import a bunch of things. You can take a look at it just like this. Here I'm going to say const create booking schema is going to be equals to z.object. Here I'm going to say car ID, it's going to be z.string dot uuid. Next I'm going to say start time, that is going to be z.string dot your date time. Okay, next is your end time. I'm going to say z.string dot your end time, date time. All right, next let's try to have in your bookings controller, I'm going to say export const bookings controller is going to be equals to async create booking request of type authentication request response of type response next of type next function. Next over here I'm going to say try catch block try and your catch. If error instance of your error, I'm going to check if at all your error.message dot includes of not available or your error.message dot includes of not found. Then we're going to say send the error, that's a method of your result error.message and then 400, and we can directly try to return. Same thing goes for the next condition as well. Okay, format once, and apart from that over here I'm going to say next is going to be of error. So yeah, this step is done. The next step is let's come back and write down your try block. So I'm going to say const input is going to be equals to create booking schema dot parse of your request dot body. Let's try to initialize the start time. That's going to be equals to your new date of your input dot your start time. Const end time is going to be equals to new date of your input dot your end time. Here I'm going to check if at all my end time is less than or equal to start time. I'm going to say send error with the result as well as end time must be after the start time. That is just like this. Okay, next let's try to initialize the hovers with the same formula as we have done previously. Here check if at all your hovers is less than 1. I'm going to say send error of your result comma minimum booking duration is 1 hour, and then pass on the status code. And then we can also try to return over here. It's not yet done. Next over here I'm going to check if at all your start time is less than your new date. I'm going to say send your error of your result and then start time cannot be in the past. Okay, add in your status code and then try to return. That's it. Okay, next let's try to create the booking. By the way, const booking equals to await your booking service, it's already imported, dot create booking, pass on a bunch of values, that is your user ID, it's going to be request dot your user ID, car ID, that is going to be input dot car ID, start time, end time. Okay, finally I'm going to say send success of your details over here. So this part is done. So I'm going to say create booking. Next I'm going to write the function for the async get my bookings. We have 3 more to write. I'm going to say async get my bookings, request of type again authentication request, response of type response, next of type next function. Okay, here I'm going to have my try catch block. So try and then your catch of error. So here I'm just going to say next of error. Within the try block, I'm going to say const status is going to be coming from request.query. Let's try to initialize the bookings. That is going to be await your booking service dot get user bookings. Here I'm going to check request dot your user ID. Here I'm going to say status as booking status or undefined. Next I'm going to say send success of the result, comma bookings is fetched, and then your bookings. That's it. Next I'm going to come back to the next step. That's going to be async get bookings by ID. Again, take in all of the values, authentication request, response of type response, next of type next function. Here let's try to have the try catch block, catch of error. I'll be adding the error block similar to the previous one, so you can take a look at it. So just like this. So next I'm going to say const ID is going to be equals to your request dot params of ID as a string. Next I'm going to say const booking, so this should be equals to, not a colon by the way, equals to await your booking service dot get booking by ID of your ID, comma request dot your user dot user ID. Next I'm directly going to say send success, so already imported, of your result comma bookings fetched as well as your booking information. That's it. I'll be adding the final part that's going to be for cancel booking. You can take a look at it. So that's going to happen over here. Okay, that's it. So yeah, this part is done. So now we can move on to the next step, that's to create the routes. So we can create your bookings.routes.ts file. So where we have your routes v1, I'm going to say bookings.routes.ts. Here I'm going to say const router is going to be equals to your router. So let's implement in such a way that all booking routes requires your authentication. So router.use of your authenticate from your middleware. Okay, next I'm going to say router.post. It's going to be just / booking controller dot your create booking. Next router.get, it's going to be / booking controller dot your get my bookings. Next router.get, it's going to be / id booking controller dot get booking by ID. That's the one. Next is finally for the cancel. Add it over here. Save. Let's also add it towards the final part, that is in your index file. Router.use, it's going to be / bookings and it's going to be a booking routes. Okay, so yeah, this part is done. We can switch into the front end part and then we can start defining your services over there. There is a booking service to create a bunch of functions, and then once the user presses on confirm and book now, we're going to add the code for that. So let me also add the final code for your this screen which says done. So let's say over here within the main, I'm going to add the booking success.tsx and then I'm going to add the new file. So booking success.tsx, I'll be adding the code for this.
you can take a look at it. Save the file. So this is the design for your done screen. Okay, it's going to show a slide animation, a couple of buttons, and some information with description. We're going to say you're all set to drive, your booking has been confirmed. Okay, and once they press on my booking, we need to navigate to the booking over here. So now here, let's come back to services, and then let's create a new file that's going to be called bookings.service.ts. So bookings.service.ts. all right, so here I'm going to say export const booking service is going to be equals to async create booking of data car id, that's going to be of string, start time is going to be of string as well, your end time, that is going to be of string. Okay, here I'm going to say promise of booking imported from types. Okay, here let's say const result is going to be equals to await API dot post, it's going to be / bookings. Here I'm going to pass on the data. Next I'm going to say return result.data.data. That's it. Next I'm going to write 3 more functions for get my bookings, get booking by id, and your cancel booking. So async get my bookings, it's going to take in your status, by the way, that's going to be of string. Initialize a promise of type booking. Here I'm going to say const result is going to be equals to await your API dot get of bookings. Here pass on the params status, if it's present it's going to be status, else a empty object. Once that's done, I'm going to say return result.data.data. so there is no semicolon, comma. Next function is for get booking by id. So async get booking by id, id is going to be of string. Next I'm going to say promise of booking, I'm going to say const result is going to be equals to await API dot get, it's going to be / bookings / your id. Okay, next I'm going to say return result.data.data. Finally it's going to be cancel booking, so I'm going to say async cancel booking, id is going to be of string. Next promise of booking. Okay, so this is going to be, yeah, just like this. Const result is going to be equals to await your API. Since this is cancel, it's going to be a patch method. Again, make use of backticks over here, / bookings / id and / cancel. Okay, next I'm going to say return result.data.data. That's it. So yeah, this part is done. So we can come back to your confirm booking and we can try to initialize the handle confirm function. That's going to be the next step. So yeah, come back over here, front end part, booking success. Okay, not this. Yeah, booking confirm. Go on to the top and then define the function const handle confirm is going to be equals to a async method. Your set loading is going to be of true, having your try and then catch block, catch of error of any. Okay, const message is going to be equals to
error dot response dot data dot message. Okay, else it's going to be your booking failed, and please try again. Next here I'm going to say alert dot alert booking failed MSG, and your text is going to be okay. So yeah, this part is done. Next I'm going to say finally set loading is going to be a false. Within the try block, let's try to create the booking. Const booking is going to be equals to await access your bookings controller, booking service from the src file dot create booking, pass on your car id, that's going to be car dot id, your start time, that's going to be start time dot to ISO string. Next I'm going to say end time, that's going to be end time dot to ISO string. Alright, that's it. So once that's done, I'm gonna do the reset draft, and then I'm gonna push it to the booking success, just like this. Okay, I didn't copy it properly. Let me just again do that. Okay, save. So where we have your touchable opacity, I'm going to say on press handle confirm, save the file, and let's see what exactly happens. Confirm and book now, and boom, just like that. As you can see, booking is created for user, this specific user ID, but not sure why we are actually coming to the main home screen. Okay, because that design not even exists. It should show actually this one, booking success, because that's what we have written it over here. Let's verify that. So yeah, it's going to be main and then booking success. Booking success is present. We also need a bookings.tsx to show all of the bookings. Okay, we'll be doing that, but I don't know why it's showing this design. RNFES save. Let's check out the underscore layout, because this screen doesn't even exist, correct? Let's try to reload once. Okay, so everything is loaded correctly. Yeah, let's do one thing. Let's actually go ahead and then design the bookings, and let's check if at all the bookings is showing up or not, because you've created one booking. You have seen the log as well. So within the main file, that is your home.tsx, onto the bottommost part, we are going to say where we have my bookings, just navigate to the booking screen. So let's create a on press for that. Come back to home.tsx. So yeah, minimize this and add it over here. Save. Okay, so we are coming correctly to the my bookings. Let's start designing this, and let's verify if at all the details are actually coming correctly or not. This user has done currently one booking. So yeah, let me remove this, and here I'm going to say export default function bookings, and first of all onto the top I'm going to have in my status config as well as the tabs that are going to be rendered. Okay, just like this. Tab type is going to be imported or not. Yeah, we need to define the tab type over here onto the top. Tab type is going to be equals to all or confirmed, or it's going to be active or in your completed state or cancelled. Okay, just like this. So this part is done. Here I'm going to have in all of my hooks being written. Let's start with the bookings. Const bookings comma set bookings is going to be equals to use state of booking imported from types. Alright, next I'm going to say const filtered comma set filtered equals to use state of booking, initially a empty array. Next is const loading comma set loading is going to be equals to use state of true. Okay, next I'm going to say const refreshing comma set refreshing is going to be equals to use state of false. Next I'm going to set the active tab, const active tab comma set active tab is going to be equals to use state of tab type, which is already defined. Initially it's going to be all over here. Okay, next I'm going to have the state for cancelling and set cancelling as well. It's going to be null basically onto the initial state. So let's initialize a use effect over here. So use effect imported from React, and once the screen mounts, we're going to call the function that's going to be load bookings. Let's define it right below. Const load bookings is going to be equals to a async function. Let's have your try catch block, catch of error. I'm going to say console dot error of error. Okay, and over here I'm going to say finally set loading is going to be of false, set refreshing is also going to be of false. Alright, within the try I'm going to say const data is going to be equals to await your booking service dot get my bookings. You can directly call that, and I'm going to say set bookings to be of your data. That's it. So next I'm also going to have a on refresh method with the help of use callback. Here we're going to set the refreshing to be of true, and we're going to load the latest bookings. Import use callback, set refreshing not present. Okay, wrong spelling by the way. Even over here set refreshing. Okay, yeah, this part is done. Again I'm going to have in two more helper functions that we have added from the previous screens. That is going to be for the format date as well as format time. Okay, there you go, this part is done. So next I'm going to say return let's say safe area view, import it from safe area context, pass on the class name. It's going to be a flex of 1 and then bg of 0a and then 0f. Save the file. There you go, that's working properly fine. Let's design the header bit of it. Okay, I think I've not added the bookings part. Yeah, we're going to design that over here. Having a view, within that again I'm going to copy down my touchable opacity with your icon, that is basically your back button. Import this as well as your router, also your text too. There you go, just like that. This is working fine. So below the touchable opacity we're going to have a text. I'm going to say your rights. Okay, here I'm going to say class name text of 9494A8. Apart from that I'm going to have in text of XS, tracking I'm going to say 3 pixels, and then uppercase MB is going to be of 1. So yeah, this part is done. Next I'm going to have one more piece of text which is going to say bookings. Class name, it's going to be in white color, so text of white, font of bold, text is going to be of 3XL. There you go, that's looking fine. For the view we're going to give it some design. Class name px of 6, pt of 4, pb of 6.
Okay, yeah, this is looking neat. Now the next step is to show all of the tabs that we have already defined above with the help of flat list. I'm going to show these. So add in a view, I'm going to say flat list. This contains the data that is going to be of tabs. It's going to be horizontal. Next, I'm going to say show horizontal scroll indicator. I'm going to set it to be of false. Next is your key extractor. I'm going to set the item. I'm going to take in the item and then I'm going to say item dot value. Next is your content container style. Here I'm going to say padding horizontal of 24 and a gap is going to be of 8. Okay, render item. Over here I'm going to have an item. Next, touchable opacity. Here your text, which is going to show your item dot label. Okay, I'll be adding the design for the touchable opacity as well as the text. You can take a look at it. Okay, that's it. Let's try to save, and boom, just like that we have all of the 4 tabs all confirmed, active, completed. So based on whatever the user types on, if at all they have a booking with respect to any of these statuses, it's going to be shown. By default we have set it to be of all. So for the view, I'm going to say class name, pass it a MB of 4. That's it. Next we're going to show the content part over here. That's going to be below the view. First of all, if at all loading is true, then here I'm going to check if at all the filtered dot length, I'm not sure if at all the state for filter is being added, filtered comma set filtered. Yeah, it is there. So let me just again continue writing this over here. Else over here we're going to show you a flat list. Okay, if all loading is true, I'm going to have a view. Within the view we're going to show your activity indicator, showing to the user that it is loading onto the screen. So yeah, pass on this piece of color, that is going to be E85 and then 00A. Your size is going to be large. Next I'm going to have in a text which is going to say loading bookings dot dot dot, and for the text I'm going to say class name. Here I'm going to say text 5A and then 72. Next I'm going to say text of SM empty of 4. I'm going to say class name flex of 1, item center, and then justify of center as well. So yeah, that's it for the loading part. If at all your filter.length is equals to 0, which means there are no bookings, we're going to show the design with respect to that. So pass on a view, having one more piece of view with a car design. I'll be adding that over here. So this is basically a car emoji. You can use your emoji keyboard and then you can show that. Next is your no bookings. One more piece of text. For this I'm going to say class name, text of white, font of bold, text of 2XL, MB of 2. For the second one, if at all your active tab is going to be equals to all, then over here I'm going to say you haven't made any bookings yet. Okay, and here in the else condition I'm going to say no active tab dot to lowercase bookings found. That's it. So yeah, I'll be adding the design for the topmost view. It's going to be simple itself. You can take a look at it. So next, if at all we do have a booking, then go ahead and then show it over here. So data is going to be equals to your filtered and your key extractor. Take in an item. Here I'm going to say item dot ID, and I'm going to say show vertical scroll indicator, and I'm going to set it to be a false. Content container style, that's required. Padding horizontal, some internal spacing of 24. Padding bottom of 40, and give it a gap of 16. All right. Next I'm going to say refresh control.
is going to be your refresh control from React Native, the first one. So yeah, this in turn is going to take in your refreshing, that's going to be refreshing. On refresh, we have already defined the function. I'm going to say on refresh, it's going to fetch the latest bookings of the user. Tint color, it's going to be this one, E8500A. Okay, next I'm going to have a render item that's going to show the booking card over here, just like this. Okay, so yeah, this part is done. So we can try to define the function that's going to be booking card over here itself. I'm going to say function booking card. It's going to take in your booking, format date, format time, on cancel, canceling. Okay, here let's define all of these types that we have taken in. Booking is going to be of type booking. Okay, your format date is going to be of type string over here. Next, your format time method, again it's going to be of string and string as well. So on cancel, it's going to be of id of string, and I'm going to say void. Canceling is going to be of string or null. That's it. Okay, here I'm going to have in three things: your status, can cancel, as well as is canceling. Okay, so you can take a look at it. So for status, it's going to be equals to use your status config and then access the booking.status, whatever it's present, or it's going to be status config.confirmed. And can cancel, if at all the booking status is equals to confirmed, or if it is in pending, you can cancel before 1 hour. That's it. Okay, let's try to return the view over here for the design. Have in the outermost view. First of all, let's try to show the image and let's verify if at all the booking data is actually coming onto the screen. Image from React Native, pass on a source, which in turn I'm going to say URI. That's going to be booking.car.images of 0. Alright, and for the outermost one, class name 1313 and then 1a. We're going to have border, and I'm going to say border 5 2s and then an e. Rounded is going to be 3xl. Overflow is going to be hidden. That's it. Okay, so yeah, for the image also, let me pass on the style, class name width of full, height of 36, and I'm going to say resize mode is going to be contain. Save. Okay, so there is some issue with respect to the bookings because we have created the bookings, but we're not able to see it because it's going to go into the else condition. It's going into the else condition. That's no bookings. Let's verify because your set filtered is not yet present. Correct? Yeah, probably the data is present. So let's try to actually call the set filters. Set filtered. So for that, I'm going to have in one more use effect over here. I think that's missed out. So yeah, use effect. So this is going to be dependent upon your bookings. Okay, as well as your active tab. Here check the condition, that is if at all your active tab is going to be equals to all. Here I'm going to say set filtered to be of bookings. Else I'm going to say set filtered to be of that particular status whichever is selected. So use the bookings data, filter it for every value. I want only those bookings whose status match the status that is equal to the active tab, whatever the user has selected. Save. Handle cancel doesn't exist. Alright, I'll be adding the function over here. You can take a look at it. Let's say right below this one. Import alert. Save the file. Press on my bookings. If at all you have done everything correctly,
There you go. Just like that, we have our first booking. It's being shown onto the screen. Okay, so you can take a look at this. So this part is working properly fine. We can continue designing the return block part. So for the inner view, I'm going to say class name, bg of white, height is going to be of 40, items of center, justify of center, and relative. There you go. That's looking pretty neat. Next is to show the status batch. What is the status? Below the image, initialize a view, have in a text that is gonna be your status dot label. Okay, and for the view, I'm gonna say class name, absolute, top of 3, right of 3, rounded of XL, px of 3, py of 1.5. And for this piece of text, I'm going to say class name, text of XS, font is going to be of bold. And for this piece of, for this view, I'm also going to give some internal styling. That's going to be background color, status.bg. There you go. Just like that, as you can see, it is showing as confirmed over here. Okay. Next, I'm going to show the design with respect to the booking ID. I'll be adding that below the view. You can take a look at it. I think the full view is not yet added. Yeah, that's our booking ID. Next, let's try to show the car name details and all the other description values. Below this, I'm going to say view. Next, I'm going to have one more piece of view. Another view over here, pass on the text. And here I'm going to say booking.car.name. Next over here, I'm going to have in one more piece of text. I'm going to say booking.car.brand. Option 8. Next, I'm going to say booking.car.your fuel type. Alright, this is good. Class name, text of white, font of bold, text of XL, class name, text of 9494A8. Apart from that, I'm going to say text of SM, font is going to be of medium, empty is going to be 0.5. For this piece of view, class name, give it a flex of 1 and then a MR of 3. For this, some internal spacing, padding of 4. For the inner view now itself, I'm going to give the flex of row. Items is going to be of start, justify between, MB of 4. Save. There you go. Just like that, the car which we have booked is being shown over here. So yeah, below this piece of view, I'm going to add one more piece of view. That's going to say text with your booking.total price. I'll be adding that right over here. Yeah, next I'm going to say text. It's going to be total. I'm going to say class name. Text is going to be of 5A, 5A, and then 72. And here I'm going to say class name. Text is going to be E8500A, E8500A, and font is going to be of bold. Text is going to be of XL. For the outermost view, I'm going to say class name, items of end, save. There you go. We're able to see that design onto the screen. It's looking good. I think the color is entered wrong. Let me just change that over here. So it's going to be this one. Okay, so the next step is with respect to the timeline. We've already done that previously. It's going to be the exact same design. I'll be adding that. So yeah, below this piece of view, I'm going to say view, have in 2 inner views. Within that, we're going to have the 2 things, that is your red color circle as well as the green color circle. You can take it down from the previous screen. It's going to be the exact same thing as you can see. So here, class name, BG is going to be 0A, 0A, and then 0F. Okay.
it's going to have a border, and border is going to be 5 times 2 and then an E. Rounded is going to be 2XL, padding of 4 and then MB of 4 as well. Here class name, I'm going to say flex of row, items of stretch. There you go, that's looking neat. Next, I'm going to copy down the design from the previous screen, that is to show the pickup details as well as the return details. It's going to be the exact same thing. You can add it below this specific view. Save the file. There you go, just like that, you pickup details. So I think we're not showing the address from which it's getting picked up. Okay, so pickup is going to be this and return is going to be on this specific date. Next is with respect to the stats. I'll be showing that design. Let me write it down over here. So add in a view, within that one more view, have in another view which is going to say booking dot your total hours. Here text which is going to say a duration. Add this view one more time. This is going to say booking dot your kilometer limits total, and next over here I'm going to have kilometer limit. Okay, here I'm going to say class name, items of end, justify is going to be between, and here I'm going to say class name, items of end. Okay, for the inner text I'm going to pass on the design. You can take a look at it. Text is going to be of white, okay, font of bold, and text of LG. For this one, text is going to be this color code, that is 5A and then 72, text of XS. And within this view I'm going to say class name, items of end. Here I'm going to say class name, text of white, okay, font is going to be of bold, text of LG, class name, text is going to be of 5A and then 72, text is going to be of XS. Save. So there you go, towards the right hand side we are showing the duration as well as the kilometer limit. Okay, next is with respect to the location. Let me show that over here. So having a view, here I'm going to have a self-enclosing view. I'll be adding that. It's just going to be in the form of a circle with a proper width and height. Okay, below this I'm going to have your text which is going to show your booking.car.sublocation.name, and then over here I'm going to say booking.car.sublocation.ct.name. Pass on the text over here. That's going to be 9494A8. Okay, text is going to be of SM, font is going to be of medium, flex of 1. Save. Cannot read property city of undefined. As you can see, we're able to show that onto the screen. Okay, so yeah, this part is done. So now the next step is to show your bottom specifications, that is your automatic, auto or manual. I'll be adding that over here. Save. As you can see, that's being shown properly fine. So these two views should come below this view. Save. There you go, that's looking good. We can give some empty of 4 over here. Yeah, this is looking neat. So now the final step is to show the cancel booking, if at all they can cancel it. So once they press on confirm, it's going to show. Once you press on active, it's not going to show because it's going to get filtered out. Okay, because we have only one booking and that one booking is in your confirmed state. Okay, that's working properly fine. Here I'm going to say can cancel, and over here I'm going to say touchable opacity. Here I'm going to check if is cancelling is true. Then we can go ahead and then show activity indicator, and over here I'm going to say activity indicator color is going to be FF4 DFT, size is going to be equals to small. For this piece of text I'm going to say cancel booking. Okay, so for the touchable opacity I'm going to say on press, take in a function, it's going to take in the booking ID by the way to cancel. I'm going to say on cancel of booking dot your ID. That's it. So disabled is going to be equals to is cancelling. Let's pass on the class name empty of 4, py of 4, rounded is going to be to XL. It's going to have border and border of this color code, that is FF4, and then D4D40. Okay, next I'm going to say BG again. It's going to be FF4 D4 D10. Then I'm going to say items of center. Yeah, this part is done. I'll be adding the design for the cancel booking. You can take a look at it. There you go. Since this booking can be cancelled because the date is for tomorrow, today is 14th July and the pickup is on 15th July, correct? So you can cancel this booking. So yeah, this part is working properly fine. So you can try to book as well another time and you can check it out. I'll be adding the code for the profile screen. You can take a look at it. So this mostly includes the UI part. The only functionality which we have over here is for your logout. So I'm going to say profile.tsx. So you can take a look at this. Save. So as you can see, we have only two functions, that is load stats as well as your handle logout, right? So these are all of the details for your UI related issues, that is help support, terms of service, privacy policy. The same thing we are showing over here as well. Okay, so now let's come back to home.tsx, and where we have the top profile, I'm going to have your on press being given for your home.tsx. And yeah, let me give it to this one, that is to the value which says S, that is the username. That is going to be this one. Save. There you go. Just like that, all of the stats are being shown properly fine. That's my number, that's my user ID. Your stats, 1 total and 1 is active. And here I've just given on press, it goes to the same my booking over here. Okay, you can also try to log out, it's going to work properly fine. Let's come back to my bookings. Let's test the cancel booking. Cancel booking, are you sure you want to cancel the ride? Yes. There you go. This got cancelled. You can reload it once. Okay, you can also see the status getting changed over here because it has updated it. Once you come to confirm, it's not going to show because it is in your cancelled state. There you go. So just like that, we have completed the entire application. So you can take a look at it and you can try to do more number of bookings, and you can also try to do double booking. It's not going to work. So for the same booking, you won't get the car. That is the car which we just booked. Let's say for Bangalore and for Bellandur, I'm going to not change anything. I'm just going to say search available cars and boom. Just like that, as you can see, this car is available because we just cancelled it 2 minutes ago, correct? So now if you book this and you again come back to the same screen for the same dates, it's not going to be shown, correct? Since we had just cancelled it, that is for this specific car, it got okay. So I think there is a bug over here because it's coming back to this screen. Reload once. Okay, so the reason this is happening is because we do have the tabs over here. You can try to delete the tabs. We're not using that. Delete it. Now let's try to hard reload the app.
okay, because okay, let's clear the cache, because again we're able to see that. I'm going to say clear npx expo start -- clear, enter. Okay, now let's try to open it up. There you go. Just like that, now we are not able to come back to the previous screen because the tabs was present. So I think even that's the reason once I booked a car, we were able to go to the tab screen, that is the initial boilerplate code, correct? Let's say one more time, I'm going to book a random place. So I'm going to say search available cars. I'm going to choose Maruti Celerio, confirm booking, and boom. Just like that, now it's working properly fine. So previously what happened was we were navigated to the tabs because the tabs was present. So once you press on view my booking, it's going to come back over here. As you can see, this was cancelled just a couple of minutes ago. This is not cancelled, it is currently confirmed. Okay, so once the time has correctly come for, let's say, 15 July, it's going to come back to the active bookings over here. So yeah, we have implemented the complete application over here. Okay, you can try to give a route back over here. So yeah, this is the entire car rental application using React Native. If you really found this interesting, please do the like button and do subscribe for more such content. So let's see you in the next project, and then thank you for watching.